Hello, friends. Thank you for watching Fouch and Friends. I'm Matt Fouch, the host of this show, and the interview we have for you this time around is Wes Hampton of the Gaither Vocal Band. If it's your first time watching, we sure would love it if you would subscribe and click the bell to get notifications. We had a great interview with Wes. He is a phenomenal singer. He's had a great career, and I know you guys will love getting to know Wes Hampton. Hey, guys, we got Wes Hampton here. Man, thanks for being on Fouch and Friends.
Good afternoon, Matthew. You doing well?
Yes, sir. Everything is good. Now, you know you've been on the couch with Fouch, but with this whole stay-at-home order thing that's going down for everybody, we can't get those. So
There is no couch.
that's right. There's no couch for the interviews to happen. You were on probably about 6 or 7 years ago. We actually were hanging out in the green room at the Legacy 5 New Year's Eve event at Opryland Hotel. We had a great chat. You're probably one of the first 10 or 15 interviews that I did, man. So thanks for doing that back then.
Well, I'm honored. Hey, you were green then. You are a veteran now.
Right. We'll see how it goes. But dude, I know a lot has changed in the last 6 or 7 years since we did that, man. But you're still singing with Gaither Vocal Band, dude. How is that going?
I can't believe I'm still singing. Next month is 15 years. Can you believe that? 15 years. And it blows my mind to think that I'm singing with this group still. I still pinch myself sometimes and think, gosh, I'm singing with Bill Gaither, the legend himself, the guy that I grew up admiring. And
yeah,
it's just nuts. It really is. I'm so thankful, and especially now, not having any work right now, I'm even more grateful for the time that I've had, as I know you are as well. For those of you who are listening right now, most groups, I don't know how Legacy 5 is, Matthew, but most groups are paid just per weekend you're out. You just get, if you do 3 concerts, you get paid for 3 concerts. I do know some groups who are on salary, so good for them. The guys are on salary, awesome. We are not. So we are just trusting and praying God's provision and blessing. And you know what? He's already started to provide some unexpected sources, to support us at this time. So, he's got us. He promises in his word, he will take care of his sheep. And I believe that.
yeah. And I can't imagine. I know for me personally, I am salaried. However, that does have its own issues with the unemployment, and but we're all in weird situations here. But like you said, God is good, and we know that He's got it all handled. I mean, we know He's going to provide, and that's something we can absolutely rest in, which is a great comfort for sure.
Absolutely.
You were talking about being there 15 years, man, with the Gaither Vocal Band. What's been the funniest Gaither moment that you've experienced in 15 years that you can share without getting in trouble?
Yeah, I was about to say that there's one in particular that was quite funny that I cannot share. It happened up on stage in front of people, but I don't want to repeat that story.
Yeah.
I had a lot of funny moments with Mark when Mark was in the group. Some nights he would just say stuff without thinking about what he was saying, and it would just come out. And again, that was one of those nights that I really can't mention, but we've not had a ton of funny moments up on stage. There's been the routine comedy with Bill, with Mark, with Kevin, but as far as kind of spontaneous stuff, those are kind of far and few between. We do have some funny stories with the bus, with Bill taking Ambien. He no longer is allowed to take Ambien. And I remember one night this was probably easily 10, 11 years ago, maybe even 12 years ago. And it was late one night. And as you know, Matthew, a lot of fans bring you food, which is great. A lot of baked goods. And this one lady brought this 9x13, and it wasn't a typical 9x13. It was a deep dish 9x13
Nice.
of banana pudding. And so that was sitting out on the bus, and it's probably midnight, and we see Bill. Bill's been back in his room sleeping. we see him walk out, and Bill wears a CPAP device. And when he's not hooked up to the machine, these little hoses are just kind of flailing about like an alien or something. They're literally just flopping everywhere. It's so funny. He doesn't have a shirt on, and he walks into the little kitchenette area and gets a spoon, and he's taking Ambien. So he's kind of doing this. The bus is kind of rocking. He's kind of rocking along with the bus, and we have a cabinet right here, and there's banana pudding below. And every once in a while, he just hit his head on the cabinet. He just hit his head, and just like nothing's going on, he just keeps hitting his head, doesn't even notice it, and he's just doing this, eating right out of the 9x13 pan of this banana pudding, and he didn't say a word. He didn't acknowledge us. Eats and eats and eats and eats, goes back, and I go to bed. He comes back and does it again. So the next morning, Rory Rigdon, who was running sound for us, in-ears for us, he said, "Well, Bill, did you use your pudding sucker last night?" Referring to his CPAP machine. And Bill says, "What? What?" He said, "Bill, you ate half of that pan of banana pudding." "No, I didn't." "Yeah, you did." "No, I didn't." "Yeah, Bill, you did." "Are you serious?" "Yeah, Bill, you did." Wow. He ate half of an 9x13 deep dish of banana pudding. It's disgusting.
Wow. He must really like that banana pudding.
Anymore. He had no recollection of it.
Is banana pudding one of his favorites? Because normally the fans bring your favorites if they know what your favorites are.
He has a massive sweet tooth. So any good dessert, he's for.
Gotcha.
You'll go back to his room, and he's got chocolate chip cookies and baggies that he's taken from catering. I thought, well, you paid for it. You take as much as you want, buddy.
Right.
But he loves any kind of sweets. Any kind of sweets that are great, Bill attacks. I'll bring my cakes out there or cookies that I made, whatever, and it's like a rabid, hungry dog. He just attacks it. He just attacks it. It's so funny. I thought, what, at 83 years old, knock yourself out, man.
Go for it, man. You've earned it.
He has.
You're just talking about the stuff that you've made. And in that first interview, we talked about how you like to cook. And I've seen some videos on Facebook, I think, of you sharing some different things. So I had a question for you. During this stay-at-home order that so many of us are living under, what are the 2 easiest stay-at-home meals that someone can prepare that is still, I don't want to say like basic, but something that's going to be delicious and have a lot of flavor?
Delicious but simple. Comes to cooking. I'm actually going to make that tonight that you mentioned it. One of my family's absolute favorite things that I make is one of the most simple. It is so easy. I just call it I'm actually putting it in the new cookbook that I'm currently writing in quarantine.
Okay.
And I don't know what to call it. Maybe just like a simple sauteed chicken breast. Okay. All you do, you get a boneless, skinless breast, or you can get tenders. It doesn't matter. Okay. Cut off all the gross stuff, all the tendons, that little skin, peel that off, get all the fat off. And you want to cut them super thin. So you can cut the tenderloins in half. You can cut the chicken breast in half or even in thirds if it's a really thick chicken breast. Just nice, even, thin, probably half an inch thick. That's all you want, okay? You get a gallon baggie, and I can't off the top of my head remember all the ingredients, but it's all-purpose flour, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, a little bit of powdered sugar, actually, which sounds weird, but just trust me, some celery salt, and you mix that all together in the baggie, and then all you do, once your chicken's cut, put all the chicken in the baggie, seal it, shake it around. Make sure it's all coated, okay? Get a skillet full of whatever oil you want to use. I like to use olive oil with this or coconut oil, and get it to about 350. Saute them on the first side. You want to cook it about 80% of the way, and then flip it over on the other side, on the raw side, and let the other 20% of the cooking happen. Set that aside, let it drain on paper towels. It's fantastic. So easy. And then I do couscous a lot. Israeli couscous or pearl couscous. It looks like little, pearls. Yeah. And I made one of the videos. I made that last night for the kids. They freak out over it because it's so easy. It is so easy. So saute that skillet with some butter, some salt, add some water, and finish it off with some half and half or some milk at the end. And man, it's so good. So
And
good.
you mentioned you're working on I think you said another cookbook. So you already have I mean, one, two, how many you
Well,
already?
I've done two cookbooks, but I'm only selling one, which is my second one. But my
Gotcha.
second one has all the recipes from my first one kind of condensed in the back of that one. So
Yeah.
you get all the recipes from the first one in the second one. And then this new one would be obviously all new things. They won't have those previous recipes, but all new things. So a lot of things I'm experimenting with now. I actually came up with a yeast roll recipe that I'm working on for a few days, and I made it last night, and it was absolutely killer. So I've got a roll recipe that'll make you serious, like you would slap your grandmother. It's so good.
So
It's
so
that serious.
if you guys watching want to support Wes during this time we talked about earlier, you can go to
WesHampton.com. It's
and
that
you
simple. MyName.com or recipes.com, but most people cannot spell that correctly. It's just recipes with a W instead of the R. That's it.
okay.
So yeah,
So
but yes, I've
go
actually
get it.
been working on with the quarantine, Matthew. We're kind of doing everything in house now. So
Mhm.
all my product stuff, we were fulfilling it. So we were spending this morning just fulfilling cookbook orders, which I'm thankful for. It's helped. Literally, it's helping feed us. So we're very
Yeah,
thankful for any kind of purchases as well through this time.
that's awesome. I'm glad that people are doing that because it definitely is
Oh
very
yeah,
helpful for the artists who need it.
it is.
Sure.
It really is. And these little cooking things, I'm doing cooking live things. I'm honestly doing it for no other reason, just for people to enjoy it, hopefully, and to maybe be informed about, oh, I didn't know you could do that, or I didn't know this was that easy to do. I want to wake people up that are intimidated by cooking to say, hey, it's really not difficult. It can be fun if you make it, and you can involve your kids, you can involve your family in the whole process, and I think that gives them a whole new appreciation for what
Yeah,
they eat, and then they're more
yeah,
likely to eat it if they help
yeah.
make it.
And they can
Um,
find it at just your Facebook page, Wes Hampton, I'm sure.
Yeah, just westhampton.com, and then actually I don't put the videos on my website, but yes, my Facebook page, my
Cool.
YouTube channel. It's just go to YouTube and search Wes Hampton channel, and it'll come right up. So
So before we move on from the food thing, my wife sent me to the store not long ago, and she said get a certain amount of kidney beans.
mm-hmm.
Somewhere in the translation, I got like 10 times the amount of kidney beans that she needed. So in our pantry right now, we have about 9 cans
Oh
of,
man,
it was
ah,
something like that. So we've got a bunch of cans of kidney beans, which she has made fun of me several times for this. But what I need to know is there anything I can do with those extra kidney beans? Because I
okay.
need to make something.
What did you make with those kidney beans in the first place?
So she made like a baked bean dish
Oh,
that had like three or
okay,
four different beans and it had
okay,
bacon on
good.
top and puts it in the oven. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, okay. My first thought is chili. I use kidney beans, tons of kidney beans in my chili. So you can
Okay.
use that. And what's great about the canned kidney beans, though, is they keep for, well, almost forever. I mean, you can have those till, 2 years from now, you can still use them. So that's
Wow.
great. You can also make a hummus, because hummus is traditionally made with chickpeas or
Chickpeas.
garbanzo beans or chickpeas.
Yeah.
You can still do that with kidney beans.
Okay.
You could totally still do that. So just puree them. I would reserve a little of that liquid in the cans and just get a touch of garlic, not much, because it can really overpower it. If you have tahini paste, which is it's a fancy word for saying sesame seed paste, is all it is. You can
Okay.
buy that at Walmart now. Tahini, some lemon juice, olive oil, puree that. That's it. I mean, it's that simple. Season with salt and pepper. But I think that would make a great hummus,
See,
honestly.
now you're speaking my language because when we go to Israel on our
Oh,
trips,
love hummus.
hummus is the thing I eat basically every meal. I
It's
will
it's
gain weight
wonderful.
even walking 10 miles a day. I will gain weight because I will eat so much pita bread and hummus on
See,
that
the
trip, man.
hummus is the problem. It's the pita bread.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
the
know.
pita bread that kills you. Which brings me to a flatbread recipe. I'm probably going to share too in my cooking thing that I come up with. The
Awesome.
flatbread is killer. But that and some hot fresh flatbread sliced up into that hummus. Oh my goodness.
All right, I'm gonna have to do some research now.
Oh,
All right.
so
So you're hanging out. Just imagine this. You're hanging out at the house during this stay-at-home thing, and you just are mentally, you're done, right? You got to go. You got to go to get away, but you can't go get away. So you go out on the porch, you get in your rocking chair or whatever, and you're sitting there, and mentally you're going to another place. What place are you envisioning is out there in that green lawn as you're sitting on the porch? What is that place for you?
I want to be working.
It's a stage somewhere for you.
I want to be out working. It sounds funny, but I want to be out doing what I love to do with
Yeah.
people that I love. And that's honestly where I escaped. And I also, and it's funny, but I start thinking about recipes too. You know, how could I do this? How could I make this? I also like to go down to my studio, and you know, I'm always having something to work on. So whether it's something with a vocal band or something solo wise, I've got a solo project I'm trying to finish up too. So I'm always just kind of thinking of ways that I can be productive, because I thought, you know what, I'm home. I might as well make the best of it. You know, I could sit here and be depressed because I'm not working. I could eat everything in sight. I could sleep all day. You know, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, or I can get up and be productive. You know,
That's right.
I'm gonna record something. I'm gonna get this cookbook finished. I'm gonna go. I don't want to. I'm gonna go exercise. You know, this morning I got up at 6:30, which is, I usually don't get up at 6:30, but I woke up at 6:30, Matthew, and we bought 10 rolls of pine straw. And I mean, a roll of pine straw is big. They're big. Went to Home Depot and they loaded it for us. And so I got up at 6:30, had my coffee, and had a little quiet time. And then I went out for an hour and a half and spread pine straw, and it was great. It didn't sound fun, but it was like, I just need to get out of the house, have some alone time with just me, and spread some pine straw. And now my yard looks great.
Yeah.
We're no longer embarrassed.
So you go out on your porch, and you're envisioning whatever stage, and there's a bunch of people out there, because that's what you're wanting to get back to singing, right? So that's what you're envisioning.
Yes.
What song are you singing for them?
Oh man.
The one song, if that was a bunch of people sitting out there and you could sing them one song, what song are you listening for them?
He is here. He is here. I would go to He Is Here because I think, especially when we have times like this, you can forget that He is always near. You can say, oh, you know, the presence of the Lord is here. Amen. You know, when things are going well. But when things get difficult, sometimes it's hard to rejoice when things are difficult. So to be reminded of He's here when things are great. He's here when things are bad too. He's here through all of it. So don't forget. Just because life is difficult right now, whether this quarantine thing is what your difficulty is, or whether you're fighting cancer, or you're about to lose a loved one to whatever, you know, he's in the midst of all of that. He is.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. That'd be a great song. And I'm sure there are thousands of people that would love to be sitting in your front lawn listening to you sing that song.
That would be weird.
Hey man, what is the one song that someone else has sang that you sit back and you say, I wish that was a song that I got to sing?
That's a great question. Okay, one that comes to mind first is a Larnell song, But God. Have you heard that song,
Yep.
But God?
Yep.
That's one that I wish I could have gotten to first. But Larnell wrote it, so, you know.
And that song, and he's the only person I've ever heard sing that song.
Me too.
But when I hear him sing that song, it takes his personality. You know what I'm saying? Like for anyone to sing that song, it takes that personality to be able to convey the message and the words of the song, because he sings it so well and his personality is so perfect for it.
He does. Yeah, he's amazing. And I love that Larnell, he doesn't just sing, because I've always said great singers are a dime a dozen. There's tons of great singers out there.
Yeah.
I've sung with some of the best in the world, but Larnell goes way beyond singing. It's a communication. It's you're communicating the lyric. It's emoting. It's skill.
Yeah.
It's I'm going to tell you the story. It's connection to the song. It's connection with the audience. It's connection to God. It's all these things. That to me is the difference with him, which I think is quite rare in singers. Yeah. There's not many singers. I'll say it this way. I've been impressed by a lot of singers. I've heard a lot of singers sing, and I go, wow, that's really good. That skill is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But few have the gift to be able to move me. There's a difference in being impressed and being moved when someone sings. Yeah. And Larnell is one of those people that move every time he sings, whether it's something upbeat or something more serious. He moves me. He connects, and that's something that I've tried to learn from. Okay, I don't want to get out there and just sing a song. Say, did you like that? Was that good? Whatever. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. It's completely meaningless if they stand up to give you a ovation, or they sit there quiet in their seats and they contemplate what you just sang about. Mm-hmm. I want the Holy Spirit's touch and presence with me. I mean, that's what I want. That's my prayer. I don't want people to say, Wes, gosh, you sang that song great. I want them to say, Wes, God used you in a powerful way when you sang that song. I mean, that's what I want to hear. Yeah. Because that's what I think. That's what I've been called to do, and that's my prayer, that I would be, like Larnell in that sense of I want it to go way beyond the music and the lyric. I want it to be this thing that transcends the stage performance, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, man. That's awesome. And I think that's a great way to wrap up this interview, because I think that really shows the heart of you as Wes Hampton that maybe a lot of people don't get to know on when they come to a concert, or they get a few minutes to chat with you maybe when you're out on the road, and they don't get a chance to really connect with you. So I think that's a great way to end it. Tell the guys and the ladies that are watching where they can connect with you on the social media.
On the social medias?
Oh, yeah. Tell them about that.
Okay. Well, on Instagram, I am Wes Hampton Official. I think there are still a few fake accounts out there that direct message people asking for money. I will never, ever ask you for money, as well as any of your favorite artists. I don't think would ever ask you for money. Wes Hampton Official on Instagram, and the Wes Hampton Fans on Facebook, and where else? And the Wes Hampton on Twitter.
Okay. And you got
I think that does it.
Now, you mentioned earlier you got the YouTube channel, so you guys can catch
YouTube channel as well. Just Wes Hampton on YouTube. You'll see mine and my wife's picture together, and I think it's the only Wes Hampton channel on there.
Cool. Man, thanks for your time today. I know these folks watching enjoy getting to meet the artist that they love hearing sing in a more personal way, and I think you really gave them a part of who you are today and shared a little bit more of your heart and more personally with them. So thank you for that. I know they appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt. Hey, great questions. Thank you for asking thoughtful, great questions, because I've had some bad interviews as well. I think, did you not really? That's what you thought to ask, So thank you, Matthew.
You're very welcome, man. God bless you, and thanks for being with me.
You too, friend. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.